Hey guys, this is Pete. I'm down in Medellin, Colombia. That's where I live now. This video is about my experience with ACN out of Concord, North Carolina. They sell flash mobile services and other utilities and things of that nature. And I really want to share this because I did not have a good experience. In fact, it was a bit complicated, and I'm going to hit the highlights. I want to be as accurate as possible because I realize that there are people who have had a different experience, but I just wanted to put this out there because I really felt like I was mistreated and it wasn't handled appropriately. But essentially, there was a gentleman from the United States who came down, another American, and there's a lot of Americans down here, and Colombia's a great place and what have you. So he started talking about the ACM structure, and I've been associated with multi-level marketing before years ago, and I never really had a good experience, but it intrigued me because of the way they were structured here. Long story short, he invited me over to his apartment, and we sat down and went through the process of joining it. And I paid $499 to be in the program. Now he based me because of details out of the United States, which I haven't lived in the United States in several years, almost, well, I guess it's 5 years now. And long story short, as soon as the money was paid, as soon as everything went through, I was explained after the fact that I had to qualify. In order to qualify, I had to sell a certain amount of customers in order to be put in a position to gain commissions and things like that. But my clients had to be from the United States. And I wasn't told this, and so I suddenly found myself, living in another country trying to sell back in the United States. So it really wasn't working. It didn't start off well, so I started calling family and things like that. And I had people that were hopefully going to do it, but they had contracts, they had obligations. I really couldn't go out and do anything, but I tried. And by the time I got to the point where I went back, I tried to go to ACN and say, look, this isn't working. I need a refund or a restructure or something. And essentially I was denied. They kept my money, $499. They cited, hey, you should have read it. You should have paid more attention, and maybe that's true. But when somebody's walking you through the process, how many of us really read all the fine print? But shame on me. But the point is, I went to the Better Business Bureau in Concord and filed a complaint. They had one of their attorneys call me back and explain to me, you signed it. It's our money now. Tough luck. Now, it didn't cost them anything. It was of no expense to them. They have my money. They have no cost. I can't qualify because I live in another country, and they kept my money. So I had a couple of people that were ready to change, and so I changed services and to help me out of this. But based on that, I couldn't move ahead and work with a company like that. Imagine, that's the way so many of these companies are today. Once they get your money, screw you. You shouldn't have signed. It's like, how do I legally keep money from people, regardless of whether they get what they think they're going to receive in exchange for that money or not? And that's just wrong. That's wrong. So I find, in my personal experience, I would never do business with this company. I will never do their service here. I will not allow my family members to do the service, and I will lose the money. Well, I did go back to the person who sold me directly. He was a regional manager of some sort. I won't mention his name because I think it was a unique situation, and I think he misunderstood, and we come to an arrangement. So I'll never mention his name or anything like that because I think he's a good guy. Okay, so I don't want to put the blame there, but what really got my goat was I spoke with this group, and they took the legal stance and said, you paid the money, you should have read the fine print, you're out. You ain't getting your money back. So there it is. So I would highly discourage you to do business just based on my experience, okay? And if you have a different experience, I'm not judging other people. If you're actively involved in it and you're doing well, I just don't like that mindset. I would never take your money from you, give you nothing, and say, hey, you're out of luck. I would feel compelled to pay that money back, right? Or at least less, if I had expenses associated with it, I might track that out because, what have you, and refund that money. But they didn't. They kept the money. And so, you know what? It is what it is. Lesson learned. I will never do business with that company again. And I probably won't do anything multi-level again because, I'm all about, trying to have a little bit of integrity and give something of value and have morals. And the moral position on this is they saw that I volunteered that money with a certain expectation that due to circumstances, beyond my control and beyond my understanding, based on trusting somebody else's understanding who had more experience because they had an actual title within the company, the end result is I lose out and they just don't care. In fact, that's why they hire attorneys and everything else to protect themselves. I get that. But when you go from protecting yourself over taking advantage of others, that's wrong. No to ACN, no to Flash Mobile, and no to the Better Business Bureau of Concord, because they wouldn't do anything about it. And so anyway, wishing everybody the best. I mean, no animosity towards anybody. I don't want any enemies. I don't want any issues. But that's my experience. And anyway, best of luck to you out there. Thank you for listening to my message if you made it this far. And have a great 2019. Take care.